Hi, Claude. Tell me what you're going to talk about today.
I'm going to tell you my rules about how to design a kitchen. So here we are in the Chermayeff kitchen on Cape Cod, or one of 3 Chermayeff kitchens. There are a couple features here which I approve of, and I think the first thing you notice is there are no wall cabinets, it's all shelves. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the correct way to do a kitchen. You don't want to have wall cabinets where you're hiding things behind doors. It's just a waste of money. It's also a waste of effort, because every time you want to access something, you've got to open a door and then go to get it. You also don't know where everything is, so you have to open door after door after door. Now, when it comes to base cabinets, yes, you do have to open doors or drawers, but I recommend drawers because you can easily see what the contents of a drawer is by simply pulling it out. You don't have to bend over.
So there's a particular type of drawer you're recommending then?
So I'm recommending drawers instead of doors. In other words, not doors like this, but drawers. And you can have different numbers of drawers. Here you've got 3 smaller drawers and 1 larger drawer, or you can have one small drawer and 2 larger drawers. I recommend a sort of a mix of different sizes so that you can always find a drawer that will fit what you're trying to store.
And these drawers are pretty big, so if you slide them out, you can have quite a bit of stuff in them, right?
Yeah. You can put in, mixers, blenders. You can put in large salad bowls, salad spinners, things like that. If you have doors, then you have to bend over a lot more to see what's going on. You have to bend down, way down here, and then look in the back, and then getting to something that's way in the back. It's often very difficult to get way back there to retrieve whatever it is that's sitting back there. One of the rules is to make sure that you don't have a deep sink like this.
Oh, that's
this is
deep.
way too deep as far as I'm concerned. Now,
how deep do you think that is?
It's about 1 foot deep.
Yeah, more, I'd say. Maybe 15 inches.
Yeah, now one of the good things about this sink is that the drain is all the way in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's a good thing. And it can be in the back in the middle or the back in either corner. But the point is you want to have it in the back. And the reason for that is that you want to free up as much space as possible down here. You want to get this tube here as far back as possible so that you have more room here. And one of the reasons you don't want to have the sink so deep is that you want to also have room up here. Because what you really want here is a drawer that you pull out, and then you can have your recycling and your garbage or trash bins here. And this deep sink gets in the way of that. Another reason you don't want to have a deep sink is you got to bend way over to pick stuff up to pull it up out of here. And
especially if you had a big pot of water.
Right. If you're filling up something, big pot of water, it's sitting way down there, and then you got to lift it way back up. I mean, these counters are set at a 34-inch height for a reason, because it's a comfortable working height. This, you're lowering it by 1 foot, so now you have essentially a counter that's really far away from the optimal height. And then you also want to have a nice gooseneck faucet so that you can put big pots in a shallow sink and still be able to fill them up. And I would recommend also that you have a detachable spray thing here so that you can have that all in one place without taking up extra counter space with a separate sprayer.
So for the most part, maybe you'd give this sink a C+, maybe?
C+, yeah.
Yeah, it has the drain in the back.
It has the drain in the back, it has the high gooseneck, but it's too deep, and it doesn't have a spray.
A sprayer.
At all here. This is another Chermayeff kitchen. This is called the apartment. As you can see, they don't use wall cabinets, they use shelves. So that's another example of the right way to do a kitchen. And again, they're making use of drawers here rather than base cabinets with doors. So here you have a sink at the Chermayeff apartment kitchen here on Cape Cod. And you see that the drain is in the center of the sink. I don't recommend this. I recommend having the drain as far to the back of the sink as possible. When you buy the sink, the drain's already in place and you can't change its location. So you want to buy a sink where the drain is either here or in one of these two corners. You have a gooseneck here, which is nice. It gets it up higher so you can fill larger vessels. And as you can see here, the plumbing is further forward and blocks a large volume of this lower cabinet. Now again, I don't recommend having doors. You can get cabinets made in such a way that this is one large drawer, and I'll show you an example of that later.
Very nice.
So here we're in the cottage of the Chermayeff compound in Truro, Massachusetts. And as you notice in this kitchen, you don't have any wall cabinets. You've just got shelves. And that's my recommendation.
Shelves and floor cabinets.
You've got base cabinets. They're primarily drawers. In this case, there's one here with a door. But I can show you why I don't like doors on base cabinets.
Okay.
So if I want to retrieve something from this base cabinet here with the door, I have to open it up and I have to bend way over and look to see what's back there. Now, if there was something back there, it probably would be blocked from view by the things that are in front. So I'd have to pull everything out that's in front of that and then look back there and then reach way back there, which is kind of difficult to do. If you have a drawer, you can pull the drawer out and you can see very easily what's all the way in the back and what's in the front. And if you have a full extension drawer, it would come out even further. This isn't full extension. And then the back of the drawer would be even with this, and you'd be able to put and take out stuff from any part of the drawer with very little effort. Over the years, I've designed and built a number of kitchens, and I've come up with a set of principles that I think everybody should consider while designing their kitchen. So this is the most recent one I've completed, and I think what you notice here is that there are no wall cabinets. So that's principle number one. You want to have everything on open shelves. So the next thing I want you to notice is that the base cabinets are all drawer cabinets. Even the one under the sink, where you have the trash and the recycling. The reason you want to have drawers instead of doors is that doors make it very difficult to access the contents of these cabinets. You have to bend over, open a door, and then look and see what's going on in there, and then reach way back in there. With a drawer, you pull it out and you can see everything that's in the drawer. And if you don't find it there, you can pull this out. You're basically standing while you're searching, and then you may have to bend over to pick something out of a lower drawer, but you don't have to reach all the way back in there as well. And I recommend getting full extension drawers, which means that the back of the drawer comes up even with the face of the cabinet. So the other important thing is to locate the dishwasher next to the sink. That's pretty obvious. But you also want to locate the dishwasher close to where you put your dishes. As you can see here, it's very easy to open the dishwasher, unload it, and put away the contents of the dishwasher. In this case, the utensil drawer is right opposite the dishwasher, making it very easy to take stuff out of the dishwasher and put it in the utensil drawer. So I want you to notice here that the sink is quite shallow. I don't think it makes sense to have a deep sink. The reason kitchen countertops are at this height, which is higher than any tabletop, is that this is a comfortable working height. So it doesn't make sense to have your sink really deep, because now the bottom of the sink is at an uncomfortable height. So I recommend a shallow sink, and then you want to have a nice faucet that releases the water from high up so that you can get bigger pots in here and fill them. But there's no need to have a deep sink. If you get a faucet with a built-in sprayer, you eliminate the need for extra hardware around the sink. My feeling is that you don't really want to do cooking in here. It's not like you want to fill this up with water and do some sort of soaking of a turkey or some large piece of food. So there's really no reason to have a deep sink. And you're not going to be washing dishes here because you're going to be using the dishwasher. So a shallow sink allows you to have more room under the sink. And that's useful because you can put your trash and your recycling there and other things like dishwashing liquid and cleaning materials, as well as a dustpan or whatever it is that you want to store under the sink. Now, another key feature in creating enough space under the sink is to have the drain all the way towards the back of the sink. Whether it's in a corner or in the center, you want to have the drain as far back as possible because that creates the most space underneath the sink. So another important thing as far as I'm concerned is to let light into your kitchen. So we're here in the nighttime, so you don't really see any light coming in from outside. But what you want to do is you want to avoid putting shelves or wall cabinets, well, wall cabinets in any case, but your shelves, you don't really want to put them on exterior walls because then you don't have the opportunity to have windows there. Now, in this case here, the exterior wall is to my left and behind me, and as you can see, there's only one window. And I have put shelves on the exterior wall. That's because it's a very small kitchen and there isn't really a lot of places to put shelving. But in a lot of kitchens that are larger, you can use an interior wall for your shelving and afford yourself the opportunity to have a lot of windows to let in a lot of light. So lighting is also very important in a kitchen, nighttime lighting. Daytime lighting, you want to have a lot of windows. That's what should control the way your kitchen is lit. But at night, you have to think about artificial light. And in this case, we've got an overhead ceiling light, and we also have task lighting under the shelving to throw light right onto the kitchen counters. And my feeling is that the task lighting is essential, because if I turn it off, you'll see that underneath the shelving, it gets very dark. The overhead light doesn't really put a lot of light right here on the counters. And if you actually stand to work at the counter, you end up creating a shadow because the overhead light is blocked by your own head. And so you have even less light to work with. So I find that task lighting is important. And it should be right there under the shelves that are above your counter. And I think that it's a much more intimate kind of lighting. If I turn off the overhead light, I think you'll agree that this sort of lighting is a lot more intimate and aesthetically pleasing than the sort of overhead light that you have with a ceiling fixture. So this is a very small kitchen, and there used to be a range right here. But to make room for a dishwasher, I got rid of the range. So how do you do your cooking? Well, with today's technology, you can get, for less than $100, an induction hot plate. So you can have a one burner situation like this, or you can buy 2 or 3 of these, and when you don't need them, you can put them in a drawer to free up counter space. If you need an oven, you can buy for less than $100 a countertop oven like this, which actually will do rotisserie, has a motor to spin a chicken. It works really well. It bakes pies, it does convection. It's a great little machine. And then of course, you also want to have a microwave, and you can throw that on the counter as well.
So in conclusion, some of the basic rules for kitchen design are to have a shallow sink with the drain toward the back. This allows you to have a drawer beneath the sink that can slide out, and you can store your trash and your recycling in there, plus a few other things in the drawer. You see the plumbing back there is all in the back. You have a high neck faucet that allows you to put pots underneath it. Also with a sprayer coming down right out of the faucet is very convenient. You don't need any extra hardware around the sink.
Open shelves rather than hung cabinets with doors. Full extension drawers rather than base cabinets with doors.
So you have sliding drawers that are on rails that go all the way out to the edge of the cabinet. Allowing light into the kitchen is a very nice feature. Try to keep light in the house, if you can, with windows, and to have lighting over the counters in addition to any overhead light. And that's the basic idea of what you need. Obviously, you need a refrigerator.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe CB99 videos.